They're giving him a hard time. Basically, they're teenagers being teenagers.
Can we please get an anti-bullying campaign started for extremely good-looking men? They're tortured enough. Like, can pretty handsome men? Can someone help them?
Who just aren't built like
their lives are so rough.
Yeah, who aren't built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can we just get the pretty boys with the pretty faces?
Yes, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, they're so tortured.
Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome back to Comic Dissection, the podcast where we take comics and dissect them. Go through the story, beat by beat, action by action, and give just about the damn best analysis that you can
find. That's what we are here for.
That you can find within this podcast. I'm your host, Reno Dino Valentino, and as always, my wonderful and excellent co-host, Cecilia Rose.
Woot woot.
Woot woot. How are you? How are you, Cecilia?
Fantastic.
Lovely. Fucking lovely. And because of this coffee that you brought us from Dunkin' Donut, Life Runs on Dunkin', our sponsor for this week. Not really, but yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe one day. And honestly, even if they don't sponsor us, I probably own stock in it at this point.
My worry is that they will contact us for sponsorship. And then we'll have to do like a deep dive into them and find out that like
there's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
All their that is the stance of the podcast. Anyway, subscribe to our Patreon, and we'll find out that their beans are not sourced ethically or whatever. And
this is not fair trade coffee.
Their whipped cream is whipped by Guatemalans in a mine. It's a bad scene,
Lord.
And we will quickly lose that sponsorship because we just won't shut up about it.
Yeah,
we'll end up being like Behind the Bastards or even more news, where like they do ad reads, and I'm kind of like, I wonder if the people who pay you to do those ad reads have ever heard you do that ad read. Look, because you sound bored, you sound angry sometimes,
sarcastic
as shit, disgusted,
Blue
Apron's still like, oh, we love
the fact that they haven't sued Robert Evans out of every penny he has.
The fact that Robert Evans makes a nickel for his ad plugs is beyond me. We love
Sophie.
We love you. Put us on the show, but yeah, it's ridiculous, redonkulous,
completely.
Yeah. So
today is Sailor V Part 2.
Yes. Cecilia has we're finally going to close the chapter on Sailor V. Correct. This is the last one. Now,
where Sailor Moon stays open for possibility in the future because the art is still really pretty, and I love Naoki Taiuchi's work. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this is the last we'll visit this universe. Just this particular character as the main character.
Yeah, Mina.
We'll have to take a step back
for
the moon lady is coming in.
Well, honestly, I really like. I don't actually dislike Mina. I was kind of surprised. Like, she's not my favorite character.
She's grown on you with this.
She has grown on me with this, and it is.
Do you think that could happen with all the Sailor Scouts if you got a nice little story with each one?
Mina was always just. I don't know if it's just the fact that I find her the one that I relate to the least.
Because they're both blondes.
But she's. Hey, I had blonde hair. I've had all the colors in my hair.
What?
But she's the one that I relate to the least, and so like she was never one that I paid that much attention to.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Uranus and Neptune. You don't get a whole deep dive into their backstory, but I adored those two.
Yeah.
And Usagi was always my favorite, but it is. It has been fun to spend this time with
him. I completely understand. I enjoy pelvic thrusting, but Elvis doesn't interest me that much. I feel it's kind of the same thing. Even though he invented that,
I don't think he did.
Who, if not Elvis?
I feel like pelvic thrusting has been something that most of humanity has done. Otherwise, we wouldn't be at 7 billion people. 8 billion people, whatever we are now.
I mean,
entirely too many people.
All right. I feel we're going to have to Wikipedia this. We're going to table this discussion until I can do some more research and get back to you.
Who invented pelvic thrusting?
Who invented pelvic thrusting?
Honestly, considering that Elvis stole most of his stuff from black people, probably someone who also...
But he was the first not allowed to do it on TV. Doesn't that count for anything?
No.
They filmed him from the waist up because he was such a good gyrator. His gyrating skills had no equal. He made the young kids go crazy.
Feel like...
And that hair.
I don't have words for this.
Yeah, my point being is I like the, you can like something that came with something and let the original thing just not be as much your cup of tea. I don't think it's a crime.
No, it was an interesting... I do kind of wish that all of the characters would get... There are some side stories.
There's got to be at least one spin-off with each scout.
It would be nice.
Think, yeah.
There are some side stories.
Sailor Mercury, shout out! Yeah.
That you get in the manga that involve more deep examinations of like Sailor Mars and Sailor Mercury gets her own.
Woot!
But they're like the short little side stories.
I know she has short hair. And I think she's the smart one. And that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, short-haired smart girl. That's why you're here, Cecilia. Short-haired smart girls. That's my, that
I want
forever.
more on Neptune because she's got that, like, aloof, like, flirty thing that I love. I love it. And she's such a little... Oof, she's a mess. I love her.
She's a little mess.
No, she's not. I don't know.
See, I don't know anything about Neptune. I only know... Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Venus, and like the 5 quote unquote core members.
Yeah.
Like, and the only reason I know about them is because I believe the term is X. I used to be really Sailor Moony, and she forced me to delve deeper than I would have if I had had any say in the matter.
Well, I am here to complete.
I grew. Yeah. She'll probably hear this. I grew to. Appreciate it against my better judgment. Yeah.
Speaking of the good story, though,
let's jump in.
I really like the opening page. I'm not gonna lie, like it's just the art is so good, and I like the way that she does like the profiles and the. I don't know who colored this, but it's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the first 7 or 8 pages of the collection that we're reading this from are just full color shots of. Sailor V, various poses with her and her kitten.
Artemis.
Yeah,
I really
her kitten Artemis. That's not a disgusting...
God.
Yeah.
I really do wish that they... So the prototype for Sailor Moon, all of the girls had very different outfits. So their outfits were all very personalized. And although I understand why they had to be more streamlined, I do kind of wish they would have kept some of the unique features of...
Now you mean from the manga to the anime?
No, I mean for the manga. When the original starting art for the idea, all of the Sailor Scouts have very personalized... Usagi's outfit has a mask and different... The skirts and the tops are all different.
Yeah.
And all of the Scouts have very unique looking outfits. By the time you get to the actual manga, though, all of their outfits are very much the same, just with different color skirts and a handful of different...
Yeah, which wouldn't even show up in the manga. I mean, if it's black and white.
Well, it does for, the cover art and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose, that's accurate.
But I understand why it had to be streamlined.
Yes.
But the original art was just really... I really find it the...
Yeah. Batman the Animated Series did the same thing. Once it changed to the Adventures of Batman and Robin, they or the New Adventures, I don't remember which. But anyway, they ended up streamlining all the characters, and I liked the old styles much better, but for ease of drawing and speed of putting out issues.
And and the fucking speed for this, for Sailor Moon, that poor poor woman, this was
manga artists and writers in general, and
she was doing
we get
two
into
at
that
once.
in this.
Yeah.
They get horribly mistreated.
Well, and Naoki was doing 2 at once. She was doing Sailor Moon at the same time she was doing Sailor V, and no thank you. I understand the need to streamline that. sounds like it was a nightmare.
Yeah. There's plenty you can read about the horrible injustices of people in the manga industry in Japan. But
alright, so our story starts on Valentine's Day this time, and Mina...
my heart beats. Yep.
Is trying to figure out who she's going to give chocolates to.
Yep.
And we go over this fun little track record of how all of her boyfriends, in quotes, because she hasn't really had a boyfriend.
No.
How all of them have met their demise. And she seems... I love the fact that she seems so unbothered by the notion, really, that, like... all of the guys I've had crushes on are just...
It's something I admire. The ability to chalk up your L's as just learning experiences. It's like, yeah, I may have had to kill all my exes, but dadgummit.
Yeah,
you know, I learned a little something from each of them.
Also, she's 13. Why does she think she's in the prime of her life? She can't even drink yet.
Plus, I mean, when I was 13, I certainly didn't think I was in the prime of my life. I kind of thought, am I going to be this uncool forever? Spoiler, yes.
I also want to give Mina a shout out for being so cool to the incel computer guy, because he doesn't deserve chocolates. And not unless you're like lacing them with like laxatives. Unless
you're getting rid of him. Yes. And right at the beginning they talk about a tradition that I really wish would come to the States, the difference between Valentine's Day and White Day, which Valentine's Day is February 14th. This is in Japan. Girls are supposed to give chocolates or treasures or notes or whatever to the guy that they're interested in. March 14th, the following month, is White Day, where guys are supposed to reciprocate. Or, if they didn't like the girl, give it to someone else. And it was called White Day because typically the guys were supposed to give white chocolate. But nowadays, you can give whatever. It doesn't really,
Yeah.
It doesn't, much like here in the States, Valentine's Day doesn't have to be about chocolate and flowers. Whatever you're, honestly. Fellas, ladies, anyone else, be more creative. Chocolate, come on. A card, chocolates and flowers. You can do, I'm not saying don't do those things, but you can do more. Do something that says, I know you as an individual. Buy
someone their favorite book.
Yeah.
Buy the next in a, because honestly.
My knees are getting weak.
Right?
Just thinking about it.
That's actually what Eric got me for Mother's Day last year. Was a beautiful copy of The Song of Achilles that has like the gold trim on the pages and like it's freaking gorgeous and I love it. Now I've read the book already, but it is a very pretty copy.
Yeah, but
White Day would be nice. It would be nice.
White Day would be nice, and also I very much laughed at the I killed him line. It's talking all the exes.
I don't have a true love. They've all died. I really like this face, too. I don't know what she was doing with the eyebrows, but there's so many of these panels where
oh, yes.
the eyebrows are just going crazy.
Such good facial expressions all the way through. Like, and that's something manga's kind of always known for, and to the point where if a manga artist, and you don't really see this so much in the States and non-manga comics, but like if you want a real good facial expression, you just blow up your character's face and all of a sudden their head is 12 times bigger than the rest of their body because you want to show a silly expression on it. And that's good. I'm there for it.
Well, and I actually really like the way a lot of mangas and manhwas use the chibi characters for that same kind of like for like a tonal shift or whatever. It's an interesting way to show.
It's an acquired taste. Like definitely not for everybody, but it's something that makes manga the unique art form that it is.
So Mina doesn't have a true love, but despite that, she wants rainbow chocolates, and she buys them for herself.
I mean, they sound delicious.
They
I
do.
want them too.
And they look so pretty. They're like rose-shaped and everything.
Yep.
And then we meet the detective dude, Wakagi or whatever. I cannot remember.
Now, is this the one that got kicked to Siberia?
Yeah, he's the one who hates
episode?
Sailor V, and his boss loves Sailor V.
And, of course, she immediately
pretty.
gets some hearts for him because he's a good-looking fella.
He's so pretty.
Even
though he hates you.
Yeah. When's that ever stopped true love?
You know what?
I've hated most of the people I was in love with.
I am a sucker for good enemies to lovers. So,
I mean, I find it corny sometimes, and yet I've experienced in real life. So.
I have not experienced in real life, because typically if I hate you, I'm not going to put the time in to know you.
I believe that's called healthy relationships, but I don't know anything about that.
I don't know about all that. You're giving me far too much credit. But I'm just saying enemies to lovers would only work if I were the enemy in the situation.
And the other person was like this, oblivious, and in love with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only way it would work.
Fair
if
enough.
I view you as an enemy, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But, so, Mina, there's a part in here. Oh, I really like the fact that even though Mina wants a true love, her first instinct is not to get married.
Yeah.
Like, she has no, like, she may be head over heels for the new dude she just saw 2 seconds ago.
She's like 13. Don't do that.
But they do, though. Like, it starts early
with,
like, the girls should get married shit. And Mina's over here like, he's cute, but I don't want to marry.
There's so many dudes out there.
There's so many.
Limit myself?
I've got more guys to fall in love with. It's okay.
So many guys.
The chocolates. So we meet our bad guy for this one, and it's a cute little girl named Danberine.
Yeah, I said Deburine. But yeah, I wrote Introduction to Deburine and the true enemy, capitalism.
Or fat. I was going to go with the true enemy is sugar. But yeah.
We're selling it.
With so many.
Yes.
Oh, our superintendent's back.
Yeah. Man.
She's not even, like, one knock I have against Sailor Moon, the anime in this book, one thing that did not age well is the way they treat fat people.
We're going to touch on that a lot.
The superintendent, who is still very skinny, thinks she's gotten fat and doesn't take it well at all.
There is a lot of, I gained 2 pounds, OMG, in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of squishy bellies and, oh, my shirt's tight. And they have an episode of the Sailor Moon anime that is also just about these teenage girls trying to lose weight. And, like, on the off chance there is a teenager listening to this.
First of all, stop. But second.
Also, your body's going to go through ups and downs. And especially when you're young, the thing you should be worried about is not your weight.
Yes.
You're going to be fine.
Although, it could be argued there's some certainly amount of realism to that, of teenage girls worried about their weight.
No, there definitely is.
The only thing missing that would actually make this okay is at the end them being like, but you really shouldn't have. But they skip that step, which sort of makes it a bit problematic.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't really want to see a chubby Sailor V.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine if you're saving the fucking world...
people should forgive.
Yeah. It shouldn't matter if you've got a little... No, they fucking wouldn't.
We've seen it plenty of times when, like, you'll see somebody... I mean, this isn't saving the world, but it's sort of an equivalent. Like, someone wins a gold medal in the Olympics, and people are judging their appearance. More females than men, but being like, oh man, what an uggo. Like, obviously, that's why they went into weightlifting or gym or or gymnastics. It's like, Jesus. Yeah,
just this panel right here, the chubby Sailor V, I have a very fuck Artemis opinion here. This is not necessary. None of this was necessary. But it is every girl's dream to eat and not get fat. So I do relate on that note. And
Artemis does seem to, you wonder if Artemis is like, I just don't, like, I find it physically like, I don't want to see it, implies it's a visual thing, but it also might be like, I need you to be fast, I need you to be quick on your feet, you're going to be fighting evil, you're going to, I need you to
buy that if he had said, I need you to be strong and fit.
Yeah, I need you to be fit. It says I don't want to see, which
chubby.
Does leave it to, it might be more of a visual thing, which I don't want it to be because Artemis, you're better than that, but it could be.
Artemis needs to be better than that. He's got a 13-year-old girl in his tutelage.
It's true.
So they, in a fit of true evil genius, Danbury... or Deberine, I can't say.
Say it different every time. I think
that'll do it.
That'll help our comment section.
They decide that they're gonna sell the chocolates to make you fat. In spark of true capitalism, they turn around and also have spas to make you skinny.
We give you the problem and then we sell you the cure.
Yeah, you love it.
We sell you the problem and sell you the cure. Yeah. Yeah, it's like if McDonald's opened a bunch of gyms. Yeah. Is that it? Or Dunkin' Donuts.
So we run back into the cute detective dude who
Yep.
puts together the fact that Mina wears a ribbon and Sailor V wears the same ribbon in the same spot and is like, I think maybe this person could be Sailor V. Which, I just want to point out, the fact that it takes the villains so long to put two and two together just speaks to the incompetence of all of the evil people in every single one of these things.
Yes. They're not prized intellectual minds.
They are not, because
It's also interesting that every time he meets her, it's because he's yelling at her about committing a crime. As the hero of Japan,
Yeah.
she sure doesn't mind littering and graffitiing and all
And
this
just
other stuff he
loitering.
keeps catching her doing. Yeah, he's like, those are the laws of man, and I am a god.
Well, she technically is a god.
Yeah,
goddess,
but she's just easily distracted. It's not really an arrogance thing, more of just that I'm 13 years old. What
Yeah,
do you
she's
expect?
a child.
Yeah,
It is more of that, but it is really funny. I want the skinny mirror. So we go on, and they run into the detective, and then
Nice.
Danbury is...
We'll go to the Hall of Mirrors. The fair's in town. We'll go to
fair's
the Hall of
in-
Mirrors after this.
and
you
it's
can have
making
it.
the girls think they've lost weight, even though they haven't.
Yeah.
And she just wants them to keep eating chocolate so they can get fatter and fatter.
And somehow that will result in them being able to drain people's energy. Every issue of this, it's some villain who's got a scheme that somehow ends in them being able to take energy from people in ways? Question mark. It must just be a part of their those beings like that can just do that.
Chubb is in.
I mean, see, there's a good message.
Yes, that is.
Chubb is in.
Mina's so proud of herself because she looks like she's actually lost the weight and she's not eating the chocolates.
Yeah.
Which, the chocolates are actually gone now, so this is going to be a problem for a lot of people.
Wow.
And okay.
Yeah.
Our detective comes back to investigate.
And yell again.
Yep. He's just such a grumpy dude.
He got into the police business, so, yeah, of course.
Mina transforms into a beautiful secretary.
Yeah. And so when she turns into beautiful secretary, there's just a bunch of just random, there's just a word mess behind her of just words that I guess 13-year-olds think secretaries would use. But it's just this word salad of like...
Oh.
It's like if she turned into a lawyer and it just behind her was written, overruled, objection, Your Honor. Like, it's just a random word salad.
Part of me doesn't understand the point of all of these transformations anyways. It's just, in this instance, it seems like it's an excuse to get close to particularly cute detective dude.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just like clothes modeling. I think just getting her like a cool outfit to wear for a few scenes, because it always seems kind of arbitrary, her costume, and she doesn't keep it on long.
Nope.
And it's usually just to sneak into a place that she could just walk into anyway.
Yeah, they're not very heavily guarding any of these positions. Like, this is
just
not...
It's just...
The bad guys are stupid. We've established.
It's just extra outfits for your Barbie. It
is.
Yeah.
So, she and the detective sneak into the not very well protected health clinic. And she whacks Wakagi in the back of the head.
So she can turn into
Sailor V
without losing her...
Even though she was
secret
pretending
identity
to be someone else to start with, she still... I feel like this was just an excuse to beat him up and to make him hate Sailor V even more.
There's something about manga where they like to watch girls beat up guys they like. Where, like here in the States, it's like, oh, you pushed that girl in the mud, you must like her. Over there, it's the exact opposite. And still a problem, I'm going to say. Don't beat up people that you love.
I don't know.
Unless it's mutually, you guys agree upon it, you have a safe word.
People,
yeah, and I hate it.
I'm not sorry. I make no apologies for my behavior.
No, you've been badly taught by
Too
manga.
Much manga.
Too much manga. It's taught you it's okay to hit people you like, and it's not. It's not okay.
But
Unless you guys have a safe word. It's not cool.
This dude, poor Wakagi, is just going to come out of this hating all pretty girls because every time he turns around, somebody's kicking him.
Yeah, his boss, Sailor V, he's being treated just awful. Yeah.
So this is one of the few times in this that I felt like the villain. All Danbury did is make yummy chocolate roses and let fat people feel confident. I don't really, but she still gets her butt kicked by V-Chan.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Crescent Slender Beam. Like, there's a lot in here I feel like didn't age super well.
Gotta slender these girls up so they go back in polite society.
Yeah.
What, is there a problem with that? Is that we're not on board with that.
No, I'm not. I think, we should be more accepting of people and body types and stuff.
If it's not a health issue, live your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a hard-boiled cop. I hate sweets. Wakagi has no redeeming characteristics. He's slightly pretty.
He's pretty. That's the only one you need.
Sailor V, the only one Sailor V needs.
Yeah.
I don't...
I mean, there are definitely shallow... Like, any crush you have on any actor or actress is this.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know who they really are, even if they seem really nice in interviews. Like, so,
no, absolutely.
Yeah, as an adult, I have not matured beyond this. Like,
I think I have. I've outgrown this notion of, they're pretty, so, like...
Really? So there's no actors you have a crush on?
I think that they're cute, but there are no actors that I'm like, this would actually be a good relationship to be in.
I do, but I also know it's just a fantasy. Like I definitely think that, but I don't think that. I mean, I'm not out, I haven't started stalking them or anything. If I actually, I think this could work between us. Like, I'm not, fucking, following them around. Yeah. So, good for me. I'm just waiting for my props.
Of you. Yeah.
Christina Ricci, you are safe.
Christina Ricci, you might want to look into this. But Wakagi wakes up and realizes that Sailor V is here, and he's not super happy about it.
And then falls back asleep.
And then, he passes back out. And then Sailor V, in a stroke of true elegance, decides
8th grader making out with an unconscious adult. Yeah. Are you here for it? Because you don't have a choice. Here it is.
Yep, there it is. She kisses him. I'm much more okay with this in fiction, in the realm of fiction, than I would be in reality.
Yeah.
But, Sailor V kisses him.
Yeah.
Didn't she make out with someone else who was unconscious, or am I remembering that false? I don't remember.
She definitely has kissed someone else.
She kissed the dude in the last one who thought that she was someone else, which is also not cool,
different problematic. Look, when you're the goddess of love, when you're representing the goddess of love conquers all. It conquers mistaken identities. It conquers consciousness. It conquers all. It's creepy.
In the Sailor Moon manga, the first time Mamoru kisses Usagi, she's passed out. And again, in real life, you should go to jail. You shouldn't kiss people who are unconscious.
I don't feel the need to cancel Sleeping Beauty because it's they are soulmates story.
So Mina doesn't have that to fall back on because she's not soulmates with Wakagi. She's just
horny? Does it count because she thinks she is?
No, because she doesn't. She just admitted in the last pages that she didn't want to marry the dude.
Whoa, you can have a soulmate and not want to get married. Those are not. Well,
mutually... yes, this is true. Yeah. In real life, this is a true thing, but.
And I am of the opinion you can have multiple soulmates. So this guy could totally be her soulmate, and so can someone else. And if you are Sailor Venus,
she's going to be over this in 2 days, and you know.
If you are, but she doesn't know that because she's a 13-year-old girl. That's what I'm saying. Actually, you know what? Just to be less sexist, because she's a 13-year-old.
That's why she shouldn't be kissing passed out adults.
When I used to watch the 60s Batman TV show, I used to think I was going to marry Batgirl, but I outgrew that. I matured, and I realized that she's really old now, and I'm, I may be dead. I'm not sure. But anyways, it would never work. The age difference is too great. Here, the age difference is too great also. In a sort of statutory rape kind of way.
Anyway, she kisses Wakagi, and then she tries to use her powers to make all the fat girls thin again. Also not a great message.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work, because you actually have to, eat healthy and...
I mean, kind of a good message that you can't just pray the fat away.
That would be a better thing, but then diet candies fall from the sky from
some masked fella.
Yeah. From our prototype of Tuxedo
That's what
Mask.
I was going to say. Any connection to Tuxedo Mask besides they look kind of similar?
No.
Okay.
No, this is
because when I first saw him, much like when I first saw Sailor Moon in this, I was like, oh, is that maybe?
Nope,
I don't know.
Not
but in this case, no.
Not Mamoruchi, but this is a dude whose name we don't know yet.
He throws out diet candy like, what a hero.
Someone's got to make those girls thin again. They can't have to diet and exercise.
Then the Siberian branch of the Tokyo Police, which is... I laughed out loud to that.
Yeah.
So our policeman gets punished by getting transferred to the Siberia branch of the Tokyo Police Department. Which, again, that's the funniest.
That was really good.
Both of these volumes, that was the funniest joke of all of them. Like that made me cry.
I do also like that the weight loss supplements, the diets, our tea, our weight loss tea we got here.
Yeah.
That is a scam that hasn't changed since the 90s.
We still got it.
Book.
If you are, I'm gonna do a quick podcast shout out. There's a podcast called Maintenance Phase. And they examine different weight loss diet trends and, how they're bullshit. And they talk a lot about, fat shaming and stuff like that. And I am not interested in that stuff on the surface level because I'm, you can't see it, listener, but I have a perfect body.
Perfect.
But
beautiful.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Yeah, I'm here.
And same to you. But... I really like the host and the co-host of the show, but it's definitely worth a listen to if you are thinking about doing any fad diets. Listen to the episode of Maintenance Phase about that fad diet because it certainly exists.
Nothing new has been invented in the last 2 centuries.
No, there's 8 diets. They're just being recycled.
They get new names and occasionally different parts.
And a new ingredient.
Yeah.
We added mercury. It helps so much with this.
You'll lose weight with our tapeworm pills.
Yes.
So we get we start our next chapter, which is called... Sailor V in trouble, enter the Phantom Thief Ace, which is probably the name of our new dude.
Yes.
So Ace.
Also, in Persona 5, you are a Phantom Thief. That is your code name, and the main character of Persona 5 kind of looks like this guy.
Oh, look at that!
Got the mask and sort of the black suit thing going on. Yeah,
it's a very good
Definitely
archetype.
Pulled inspiration from that.
So, Sailor V is now in love with Ace, which took all of 2 seconds, like I said.
I don't think I could fall... if you're talking fully just appearance, I don't know if I could fall in love with someone without seeing them without their mask. Catwoman falls in love with Batman, Sailor Moon falls in love with Tuxedo Mask, these love affairs that start without seeing cheekbones. How does that work?
I don't, as someone who, this is the wrong conversation for me, because outside of being as someone whose attraction to people only grows when I actually know someone, I think it's called demisexual, but I have to actually have emotional connection to be attracted to people. Yeah. I don't understand this at all. I can look at someone and be like, you're aesthetic, beautiful. But as far as, ooh, I saw you and now I'm in love, I don't. This is not something I understand. On the other hand, I guess maybe for Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they save each other so much that Mamoru jumps in and helps her, and they're soulmates.
Yeah, and even though that was maybe, again, I'm not even sure how their relationship starts. Maybe it was love at first sight. It bloomed into something different.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, that's a hard thing. I need to see you. Without face coat. That's why I fell in love with no one these last couple of years, because everyone was wearing face masks. Nothing. I was immune to all advances.
So yeah, we need to keep the masks on.
Please
around
do.
Reno.
When I see pretty people, I think 2 things. I'm like, man, I want to have sex with you, and B, I'm probably going to have to do all the work. And Sorry, if you're good looking, you're lazy in the bedroom.
Just wear the mask. Wear the mask. You'll be fine.
But if you want to be safe from me, just wear a mask.
So we meet Phantom Ace.
Dun, 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 dun. A man who loves women enough that he's willing to tell them they need to lose weight.
Yep, he's the one who gave him the diet candies.
Yep.
And then Phantom Ace, who I feel like is a total creeper. He works, like, he steals jewels and gives them to girls as gifts. He'll go on dates with girls who can't get boyfriends, because everyone loves a pity date. Who doesn't love a pity date?
Don't tell him it's a pity date. That little, there's a tip.
He'll sneak into your bedroom at night and help you do your math homework.
Now
he is creepy.
First of all,
these people are not suspicious enough.
Women are notoriously bad at math. And second, you gotta let that one stand, Cecilia. As you should.
I'm not
lady.
Dignifying that with a comment.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
it doesn't deserve one.
None of these people are suspicious enough. And with a town that keeps getting attacked by villains who just show up out of nowhere, you'd think at some point someone would be... It's the same complaint I have when we play video games and I'm playing Spider-Man and no one ever looks up. Yeah. Like, you would think at some point someone would be like, this seems odd.
It's definitely a trope to keep it going. Like, our heroine, she never, every time a new trend comes in, there is 100% chance that it is an evil scheme to take over the world, and she never figures out till the cat literally scratches her ear off and tells, like, hey, Sailor V, kind of a problem. And it's fun. It's a common trope. It's the same reason that Scooby and the gang end up spending the first 20 minutes of a cartoon running from the old white man in a costume because they think he's a real ghost.
Yeah.
He never is, and you know this if you've watched 4 episodes of Scooby-Doo, but still do it.
It's just very frustrating to read. This is why I don't focus on young adult stuff anymore. It gets a little frustrating sometimes.
There's an appeal... And I'm not even sure this is a real appeal, because I don't remember having this as a kid. But there's an appeal that writers of this think that kids have. That they want to be smarter than the characters in the show. Like, they're like, an 8-year-old loves yelling at the screen, He-Man, that's obviously Skeletor in a disguise.
Well,
but actually, I don't feel like I did like that. I feel like I hated my heroes being dumb.
It is kind of nice to feel in control, though, because reading this, it may be frustrating because you can clearly see that Ace is going to end up being a bad guy. That's how this has worked.
Spoilers.
The entire time.
Yep.
If you can't figure this out, I don't think you're smart enough.
You should have read this before you got here. Yeah.
It's very clear, but you also know that Sailor V's going to win. Mm-hmm. Like,
you're safe in your cocoon.
Nothing truly terrible is gonna
will
happen
come
here.
to her. Yeah,
like it is.
Which is less true later on, I assume. Yeah, like the stakes get raised, and you actually worry about the characters.
Yeah,
as it matures as a.
But yeah, Sailor V falls hopelessly in love immediately.
My heart beats.
Phantom Ace is run by the Dark Agency's last chance is what Phantom Ace is.
I'm sorry, the Dark Agency's 5th last chance.
Yes,
because
we had a lot of those.
Pretty much every one after the first was the last chance.
Side note though, Fonda over here could get it. She is fucking gorgeous.
And she's got one of those straw hats, like a singing barbershop quartet from the 1920s used to wear, and I'm here for it.
Yes. Like Fonda could get it. She's pretty. I don't even care that she's evil.
You are counteracting a bit of your, I have to have an emotional connection.
Look, I said she's pretty.
I would totally let that girl sit on my face. Yeah, like, what did you...
I know how people talk, okay?
You do.
That's all I'm doing.
You do a great imitation of people and how they talk.
Look, like that book that you lent me the other day, I understand how people talk, and I do imitate.
Yes.
And Fonda is very pretty.
Welcome to Shallowtown. We're happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be a part. So the Dark Agency is also a corporation who owns real estate, so they actually are evil. I just want that to be a side note that I jotted down real quick.
Just like, it's not Darkwater, but the company that's buying up all the apartments right now so that apartment rents keep going up. I can't remember their name. But, yeah.
Yeah,
it's just the real life equivalent of that. Yeah.
They are actually evil.
Yeah.
I just wanted that to be known. They're not just useless and full of weird...
Yeah. Capitalism.
Yep.
The true enemy.
The true enemy. So, our poor superintendent is so bored without Wakagi, which is fucking hilarious. Because she got rid of him.
Yeah, yeah.
As brainless as he was, he still served a purpose for me.
Here's the thing. I don't hate that guy. Like, he's just trying to do his job. Bring him back. He's in Siberia.
Got some valid complaints about what happens in this town. Yes. I'm not going to deny that. Although ACAB. Like...
Well, ACAB in America. I don't know if ACAB in Japan. All the cops I met in Japan were very nice to me. I'm just saying.
I feel like maybe...
Yeah, and I was a gaijin, so if they had a reason to hate... I was the stupid, loud American, so they had a reason and a person to hate. I'd be both of those.
Anyways, Wakagi is gone, and the superintendent is also in love with Ace.
I hope that's the big question at the end. It's like, so ACAB outside the U.S.? How do we feel about Australian cops? Does anyone have an opinion? Probably still ACAB.
Probably still ACAB, yeah. So Artemis is hanging out in the underground base.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Yeah, did you forget about that? It's under an arcade. Cool. I do love the underground base.
It is really funny. Yeah. You got, on the other hand, I'm going to give props to Artemis. You got to work with what you got, man.
Mm-hmm,
and if your heroine is a teenage girl obsessed with video games, you might as well lean into it.
And has a crush on the guy that works at said arcade. It's easy to get her to come.
Yes, it is. It is. Artemis actually used
her
his
one
brain.
true love. This guy at the arcade.
Like, Mina's loves are an ever revolving door, and you know,
Goddess of Love Planet. I'm here for it. It makes perfect sense. And as a polyamorous lover myself, I'm like, yes, we need more representation in the world. All right.
You know what? I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Mina is definitely not the settling down type.
No. God bless her.
But Artemis is the only one with any sense and is suspicious of our Phantom Ace dude. We get more with Mina, and then there's a new mall.
Yeah, Fashion Mall Heroine, which, first of all, malls, the true villain. I'm going to say that like 5 more times. And second of all, this mall, this is my obligatory mention of that I lived in Japan for 2 years. I have to mention it every episode because it's
the only cool
the
thing
only bragging rights I have. The mall right near the train station in Kanazawa, which was the closest big city to where I lived, on the exterior looked exactly like this mall. To the point that I was like, oh, I know this mall. I've been inside this mall.
I bet maybe she took inspiration from
and it was like a 4-story mall, and like the first store was clothing stores, and the second one was like snacks and food, and so it was even partitioned off the way this mall is in this.
Yeah, we got cosmetics on the first, wardrobe on the second, tableware and interior design on the third, and employment on the fourth. Which
get you a job.
I love that.
Yeah, right? Come for the orange Julius, stay for the employment opportunities.
And the employment opportunities are going to be trying to destroy Sailor V, because that is the whole purpose of our mall here.
Yes.
Which all have Fonda lookalikes on each floor. Which also should be more suspicious. I swear. It is frustrating. All of our floor managers are Fonda. They have powder Fonda, solid Fonda, water Fonda. We over here.
You know, the 4 elements. We lived in peace until the Powder Nation attacked.
So Mina is.
I wonder if in sorry to interrupt. I was just gonna say real quick. I wonder if in Japanese those 4 words, like the kanjis, are similar or something. Like, because those are very 4 weird words.
Yeah,
to pick
it was.
For each
I
of
thought
them.
maybe it had to do with makeup.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's like what, like they have different.
That actually, you may have cracked this case, Cecilia.
I honestly, that's what I thought, because of the way that they were named. I was like, maybe it has something to do with like makeup.
Yeah, that's probably right.
But yeah, so we leave the mall, our very suspicious mall, and then Mina wants to go to an Ace concert, which she gets tickets for very quickly. This child's allowance must be insane.
Yeah.
But the superintendent is also...
Well, it's funny because I think they actually address this pretty well because you always see her spending a lot of money, and then like 2 scenes later, she's like, "I'm broke, I can't buy anything." It's like very bad with money. Apparently, gets that allowance and just burns it. Just
her and Usagi have this in common.
30 seconds
spent all of our allowance at the arcade and on candy.
Yeah, and Reno. We also have this in common.
Oh, look at you! You can relate.
I spend my money.
I do too.
Yep.
But yeah, so the superintendent and Mina are hanging out. They want to get to the front of the line.
Yeah,
so
that's a weird friendship I didn't see coming, but all right.
I mean, honestly though, the superintendent is in love with Sailor V. Of course, she's gonna be friends with Mina.
It's the common manga trope is to love one of the personas and not like the other. Like it's a recurring thing.
Yeah, Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yep.
But she changes herself into a makeup artist, a hair and makeup artist.
That's how you get in.
And her compact act's funny. I was wondering what was going to happen with the compact, but then I don't think it's ever addressed again.
It didn't. Yeah.
She saves the super.
Yeah, as you should. You're a sailor scout, or will be eventually.
Well, she asks,
save people.
She acts sometimes like she doesn't want anything to do with being a superhero, which fair.
Yeah.
So she saves the super, and the super is like, I used to be a V-Chan groupie, but have you noticed that she's not really doing anything? Maybe she's a has-been. And Mina takes this poorly.
Which is good, because get back on that hero train. You got heroing to do. I don't know if it either hasn't happened yet or if we skipped it, but because this tuxedo mask lookalike has stepped in and started kind of doing semi-heroing stuff, she sort of feels like she can retire.
Relax.
Yeah, and this is like a splash of cold water to the face.
Yeah, because retiring means all of that fame and the attention you were getting for being Sailor V is
goes away.
Yeah. You have to earn that.
Oh, you have to keep earning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't save the world once and expect to fucking just ride that forever.
No.
Look at the people who were saving lives in 9/11 and how many times Jon Stewart has to go and fight so that they can keep getting money. Now, you don't get to just save the world once. You have to do it a lot.
Saving the world.
Yeah, what have
Who
you done
cares
for
if
me
you're
lately?
tired or a child.
Yeah, you saved my life once, but what have you done for me lately?
So anyways, she goes to rescue someone and they tell her to go away because they want Phantom Ace to rescue them. Because, when you're dying, you can be choosy.
Yes, of course. It's your one chance to meet a hot superhero.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Liquid, water, and solid are Fonda's. And Sailor V gets all dejected because she wanted to save them, I guess. But, Phantom Ace was really hot up close, so you gotta... I actually do like the
redemption arc
that they address a little bit here that, like, Mina has trouble choosing who she wants to be.
Yeah.
Because there is, and I think it's something that, like, Spider-Man and stuff do, too, where you try to balance the superhero with she's a teenage girl, and she just wants to get to be a teenage girl.
Yeah, and there's often a quick to quit superhero. Like, that's an arc. Spider-Man quits like 100 times. Like, Sailor V quits a few times. Like, yeah, it's a trope of, like, it's the Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility. And
I really like the fact that they address that here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do. Mina's 13. She's a child.
Yeah, this is a lot to put on a 13-year-old.
And something that they don't really even want, like, they don't even really bother to explain what it is that she's supposed to be doing for the longest time.
Yeah.
But Mina decides to go untransform, and she does it behind a fucking vending machine.
Yeah. And
the superintendent sees her, because Mina is shit at protecting her identity.
Yes. It's kind of surprising no one figured it out.
It is so irritating. She goes behind a machine and she transforms and she comes out and the superintendent sees her and then she goes back behind the same area and retransforms.
To fight the barbershop quartet of mall employees. Yes. I expected them to start snapping their fingers and being like, we are.
But she does fight them. And
yes. Fight being a relative term. Sailor V's fights are very quick and relatively easy for the most part.
Yeah.
So, Sailor V's are not about the epic. They're not Dragon Ball Z. The fight scenes are not 4 issues long.
And I was
usually
wrong. Thank God, though, because Dragon Ball Z's fights are irritating.
Panel. I tell you, I used to, like, I'm more accepting of it now, but still not something I'm super interested in. But Dragon Ball Z used to come on.
Came on right before Sailor Moon.
Yeah. And I could never follow it because it was always in median res of a fight. So, like, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know why they're fighting. I don't know why their hair keeps changing colors while they're yelling. And how that helps the fight.
I liked Dragon Ball, but a Kamehameha should not take 3 episodes to fucking occur.
Yeah.
Usagi can save the whole goddamn universe in the time it takes Goku to fire off one attack. Get your shit together, man.
Get shit together.
But the compact isn't working, so Sailor V can't win the fight because she hasn't been setting it outside because she's been derelict in her duties. So, our hero, Phantom Ace, saves Sailor V.
Yes, with some cool card tricks.
Yep. We got like a discount Gambit going on over here.
Discount. He's the love child of Tuxedo Mask and Gambit.
They both deserve better.
Ouch, but okay.
Look, I make no apologies.
Yeah.
So, we got Ace saving Sailor V, and then a creepy guy in a chair.
Only see his crotch down.
Yeah, Dan Barite.
Yep.
Threatening her in the background. So we get to volume 11, Pet Perils, Part 1, Nian Nian's Ambition.
Dun 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 dun. Now we're going to see some cat mistreatment.
Yep. Artemis tries to wake Mina up, which was a mistake because she didn't take it well.
Yep.
She decides that they're going to win the sports day. Mina is very athletic, so she wants to win the sports day.
Yeah.
And then they go by a pet store, and there's just the cutest little kitten. I love this little kitten.
There was a lot of work put into making this cat so cute at her.
It's so fucking adorable. It's hard to look
directly at it.
And then Mina puts Artemis down. That thing isn't my cat.
Burn.
Honestly, after Artemis called her chubby, he should be grateful that she lets him stay around.
That's fair. Yeah. This might be some fair one-upsman to this poor cat.
You know.
It's like maybe the cat deserves it.
A little bit. She is a little mean to Artemis, but honestly, what would you do if someone came and was like, here's all of this responsibility and also don't get fat in my costume, bitch? Yeah. I feel like
you're going to stretch it out. Artemis, are you going to wear it later? Calm down.
Yeah. So, Mina and Artemis are having a tiff, yeah. So
I think that's the safest way to call it. It's like Artemis's greatest crisis. I'm like, it's a tiff. You guys are having a tiff.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mina goes shopping. She's broke.
Case in point. Yeah.
Artemis is all like, you have important missions to do, blah, 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 blah. I just love the fact that Mina just is, not only is she a super heroine, but she also decides to just take all of her anger and vengeance out on little low-life street thugs.
Sometimes they need it.
They do, and she kicks some random dude's butt for being mean to...
Yeah, just for being mean.
Just for being mean to this little girl and her kitty.
Yes.
Which Artemis finds ironic, and in his defense, it is a little ironic. But, yeah, they're still fighting, and then Mina says something about she wants a new brooch. She's tired of this little crescent moon thing. And Artemis decides he's done with her for right now anyway, so he walks away.
Yep.
Mina does her sports day. And we see our bad guy for this one.
Yeah.
Nian Nian.
Nian Nian.
He's a little kitty cat.
Evil kitty lady, yeah.
Who is an ugly cat, also. I just want to throw that out there.
It can change forms from okay-looking human to not okay-looking cat.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Why did they have to keep the hairstyle? The choices were made. So they're all searching for... Nian Nian has gotten a hold of our little competition, and they're all searching for Nian Nian.
Yeah, there's a... It's a Japanese game where everyone gets a sheet of paper, and on it is some common item, and you have to find that item and then take it to the judge before anybody else. It's a scavenger hunt, but with just one item that is a random thing, and so everyone will get one, and then you all run looking for it, and everyone got the same thing, which was cat, which is weird because you're all supposed to get like different things you're looking for. So now everyone's running around looking for cats, and she says it at some point. She's like, "Wait, everyone got cat is the thing they're looking for? How weird." So now all the kids are fighting over cats.
And now Artemis would be useful, and Mina's looking for him, and she can't find him. But she changes herself into a breeder. I don't understand. Again, you're right. It's just the costumes.
Yeah,
this is a very sexy little skirt she got here.
Yeah, very stylish.
She picks up Nyan Nyan, who has a weird face. Yeah. And then Nyan Nyan sucks her energy out.
Yep.
And...
So, for this page, I wrote two things. Number one, they ask, is this the enemy's doing? And I'm like, well, yeah.
You know what? The bad guys aren't the only ones who aren't that quick on the uptake.
Is this the enemy's doing? Like, yeah, I think this might be. Like, it's like if Batman's in a bank and there's a big green question mark spray painted on the wall. And he's like, you think this might be the Riddler? Yeah, maybe. And the other thing I wrote was like, what is this about manga and anime being so mean to cute things? Like, like this cruelty to, and they do it all the time. They'll take something cute, and they'll put like a kind of obnoxious person in this cute body. You have Artemis in this. You have in Bleach. It's the lion, the little stuffed animal lion that gets the soul of somebody. I forget who. I haven't watched Bleach in a while, but almost every single. You really should, or at least the first story arc. It's like One Piece. It goes on a million episodes, but the first story arc's really good.
Yeah.
I kind of consider it the Dragon Ball Z long fights done
better
correctly, but that might just be because I watched it from the beginning and therefore I knew what was going on. So take that with a grain of salt. But what is this obsession with like beating up cute things, but giving them an asshole personality so you can feel okay about it? Because that's a reoccurring theme.
It is a reoccurring thing. Maybe it's cute aggression taken to like the nth degree. Like it is, when something's so cute you want to squeeze it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of like that, but
it's possible.
Also, I think maybe it's just because things, especially like, I don't know. I would imagine, especially for things like magical girl situations. Making it cute makes it appealing to the audience that you're supposed to be going for. But if it's a bad guy, you gotta kick his ass. Like, you can't just let Nyan Nyan go around here sucking everybody's energy out.
Maybe Nyan Nyan less cute.
It might be.
It's okay to beat up.
She turns into Sailor V. Won't fight the army of cats Nyan Nyan has at her disposal.
Which is very nice. I will also say this. Mentioned, and I learned this, something I did not know, and I looked it up, and it's true, that Victor Hugo, famous writer, wrote Hunchback of Notre Dame, amongst others. Cat lover. Like big, he was the reason in France they got rid of, they installed like an animal cruelty punishment for if you were cruel to animals. And I was like, good on you, Victor.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't. I was like, Victor Hugo. Because I like Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's a book I enjoyed. And so I was like, good on you, Victor.
That is
another
nice.
reason to like you, yeah.
I love how they bleep out farts. That was an interesting choice to make.
Yeah.
We can kiss unconscious people, but Sailor V can't say fart.
Yes. I mean, I'm okay with that. Fart humor, easiest humor.
It is.
Not a fan.
It's just, for me, it's a weird line to draw. I don't.
It definitely is, but I'm here for it. I wish more people would stay away from poo-poo humor. I'm a total square. I'm not a fan.
It's not something I find funny, and I don't. It wouldn't have been funny. Caught my attention because they censored it. It's weird to block it
out, yeah.
I would have read it and then went on with my life if there hadn't have been a censorship.
Now I'm thinking about it way more than they probably wanted me to.
So Venus makes it rain, gets rid of Nyan Nyan, and gets called a
cosplayer. Which is nice. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt.
I mean, honestly, that means there are enough people cosplaying you that, you're popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Artemis is the last resort.
Isn't that sweet?
But so Mina loses.
Deal with it.
Yep. So Mina's done with cats for a while.
Fair enough.
But I guess maybe it's a good thing she doesn't view Artemis as a cat.
Yeah, because Artemis is like, well, I'm a cat, but okay.
Volume 12 is Pet's Peril Part 2, Wan Wan's Ambition.
Yes, we have a beautiful picture of Sailor V in her wedding dress, which I don't recall her needing or wearing during the actual episode.
You're acting like they care.
Yeah, it's a very nice picture, though.
It is.
Again, nice art.
She's so beautiful. We have another sibling who's coming for vengeance because...
Sibling, apparently the easiest form of villainy.
Honestly,
And it also, and here's the thing, I doubt this was the purpose, but it made me feel bad for the bad guys because, like, the first one was doing evil, but when the second one comes along, it's almost always like, you killed my sister and or brother. Like, I'm going to murder you. And I'm like, I can understand that motivation.
Yeah, but you should know that if you're working for an evil villain ship, that, like, the chances of harm are not non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but I also feel like
I missed the part.
It comes the closest to making them human.
It does. It is it's a very understandable.
Yeah, but it is a very odd reoccurring theme. Like, all your brothers and sisters are also, like, you're all the Ma Barker and her gang of Beagle Boys. Like, and you're all criminals. You're all just from the same tree of evil.
I have a note, and I feel like it's for something that we already went over, but I want to tell the story anyway because I really thought it was funny. So I was reading...
So be it. I'll edit it out if it's too long.
Well, so we're
reading...
Kidding.
No such thing as too long.
We're reading the parts, right? And there's one part where someone says something about Mina being pretty.
Yes.
Or she needs to be prettier. Anyways, so the first read through I did for Sailor V.
Okay.
Mina makes the comment, I don't need to be any prettier than I already am. Which one gets points for being I like the fact that Mina is a confident girl. Yep. But those exact same I read that part and it made me think of Sabia. Mm-hmm. Because I could see Sabia saying something like that.
Right.
The funny part occurs that later that night, after I read it, Sabia and Claire were having a discussion, and Claire wanted to play mermaids, and Sabia didn't want to play mermaids.
Yes.
So Claire makes a comment about Sabia will miss out on all the mermaid cuteness because she won't play. Mm-hmm. And Sabia says, I don't need to be any cuter than I already am. And that exact... I am raising a mini Mina.
You are.
And
good luck with that.
Yes, I'm going to need everyone's thoughts and prayers.
Good luck with that.
Because
yeah.
I am on a side parenting note. I am glad that my daughter knows that she's adorable.
Yes.
On the other hand, raising her is going to be fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that story when it came up in the thing, but I feel like we missed whatever part that was because I've already got my notes for like poor Artemis.
Yeah, poor Artemis.
So
I love the look of this temple on page 119. Like, that is a...
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the most, like, detailed backgrounds that you will see. And it wins my award for favorite panel. Like just the look of this temple. Like, the amount of detail that went into the evil cat's siblings' temple of evil. Very amazing. Like, big fan.
Mina is now being hunted by... Nian, is that her name? Wan. We're on Wan.
It's Wan now.
And on the next page, you get a nice little you see like Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon. Although this is a different Sailor Moon than the one we end up getting, but that is Mamoru Chiba right there.
Okay,
that is a full Mamoru Chiba. So this is an anime.
Yep.
By do they say the name of the chick?
They do eventually because she ends up going and meeting her and stuff, right?
Yeah. I don't know. They don't start with it. No. But it's a rom-com about a supermodel named Linda Evangelina.
Beautiful name.
I can't say her name.
Just artistic.
Her hero, Tailcoat Mask, who's always helping her from the shadows.
Yeah. Yeah, no relation to any real superheroes in this world. No, Tailcoat Mask. Yeah, it's good.
So she transforms into Sailor V for some reason. Oh, to save a kitty again.
Gotta save cats.
She's very kitty oriented here.
Hey, don't let a cat get hit by a car if you can help it.
Artemis, this is a fair point. Mm-hmm. Artemis thinks that maybe this is his Luna. He commences trying to woo her.
Yeah,
but it turns out it's a dog.
Yeah.
It only looks
awkward.
Like a kitty.
Yeah.
But Artemis is still determined to make it work.
Hey, good on you. You can. Don't let cross species stop you. You can do it.
The person who this puppy belongs to is an editor. Well, the editor is the person who comes up to him.
Yeah.
And Sailor V thinks that it looks like Ace. But the editor is working for the woman who
does the manga.
Does the manga.
Likes. Yeah.
Yep.
And, by the way, this may surprise you, but he's good looking.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that he's
Spoiler.
pretty.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm unimpressed with Mina Falls in Love. Like, it is just the
background noise at this
flavor
juncture.
of the ice cream
that
we're eating now. It's just not...
Yeah, just background noise.
So, he takes her to the house of...
The mansion.
It is a mansion.
It's got a huge pool and, like, it's got, spires. It looks like a chapel. Like, it's amazingly, artistically pretty. And then you meet this manga version of the Sailor Scouts.
Yes,
yeah.
I really enjoyed the fact that all of the scouts are here.
Yeah, little homages to each scout. they all, and apparently they all get hooked up except the main character. Like, it's like, they all found people to spend their life with, except for our heroine. Will she find true love?
So, the manga is called Aurora Weddings. And there are a lot of them. But yeah, you do see, like, this is Usagi,
yep.
Sailor Moon, Mercury, Mars.
Yeah, they're kind of like just shadow versions of the character. You get outlines, but enough to know that it's the Sailor Scouts, yeah.
Linda's the only one who hasn't...
Found a man!
Found a love. There are 108 volumes, which...
Manga, calm your shit down.
I'm reading some manhwas. Like, I'll go to start one, and it'll be like 122 chapters, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to hit a depression spiral so that I have something to sink into. But like, I can't read this right now. That's entirely too much.
Or I can't afford it.
Well,
if it's 110 volumes and they're $11.95 or $14.95 or $19.95.
R matey. We all find a way.
No, it's true. But I like having copies.
I do too.
I like
I'm not
smelling
gonna lie. There's nothing quite like holding a book.
There really isn't.
So, being a manga's assistant is hard work. Yeah, Mina finds a job. So she ends up helping out our manuscript writer, and she gets paid, which is nice. Although Artemis wants her to give it back. But she did work. Artemis does not understand the world.
Yeah, like, you get paid for labor. That's not the same as, like, doing sailor good deeds. That's a job.
Yeah, no, she did a job.
They could have paid someone else to do that job.
Yeah, she did a job.
Yeah.
She got paid for the job that she did. This is not...
It's not like she got paid for saving the cat. Like, this is just a job that you get paid for.
And Artemis is irritating sometimes. I do understand why she might be a little mean to her.
It also seems a little ironic because one of the complaints that a lot of manga people in the industry in Japan complain about is the extremely low pay rate. I don't know why she's getting paid so much. That's not
she's also a child. Maybe she thinks that maybe it really isn't that much, but it's more than her allowance.
That's a good point.
That's
a very good point.
The bar's low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the other hand, I need 1/100th of Mina's luck bumping into the artist of the manga that she loves. Just
sometimes
random happenstance.
Yeah, I could do with that kind of luck.
So we have our girls. They start talking about Phantom Ace.
Yeah, they're both head over heels for him.
Both head over heels.
Yeah. So much they're making squee noises.
Honestly, I really like this panel because...
Like a pig being chased around a pig pen. Squee, squee, squee!
I really like this part because the manga artist starts talking about Yahweh and how she wants to draw Yahweh with the Phantom Ace dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the manga artist knows where it's at. Yeah. She understands. As someone who loves boy love herself, it is fun. So Mina's happy to drag Artemis into something.
Yeah. I won't call that surprising at all.
No. So yeah, actually this is funny because Artemis is on the same page with her and wants to keep going back because he thinks that Luna puppy is his Luna.
Yes.
So he's down with this plan. The fact that this has nothing to do with the mission.
For the first time ever, Artemis is also letting love rule.
It is. And we have a Usagi and Naru spotting on page 134.
Holla.
She offers Artemis up as a sacrifice for the manga artist because she's having trouble drawing. Artemis wants to marry Luna and retire.
It'd be like that sometimes.
He's trying so hard to woo her too. It's actually really cute. Yeah, that's not going to work out the way you want it to. Yeah. Artemis gets upset because Luna attacked him. Mm-hmm. We find out that Luna is Wanwan.
Dun dun dun!
Couldn't have seen that coming.
Villain appears. Very coolly dressed.
And yeah, that outfit is interesting.
I'm there for it.
Choices were made.
I like it.
Mina transforms.
Best transformation ever. Best transformation. She is bald. She's got a little top knot. She's got that ancient, like, Ronin bald hair thing going. Oh, it's so great. But way too short. She does not stay in this form long enough.
No, it is really funny.
Yeah. Like, less than a page. Not even a full page before she turns into Sailor V, of course.
Confucianism and the edicts on compassion for living things may allow it, but I will not. I really loved, because she I actually really like the fact that whenever she does these transformations, sometimes it is, she'll bring in actual historical things for it.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
She seems to have an interest in history.
But she has entirely too many stock phrases. This whole thing was just very long.
Yeah.
Like, the shoujo manga heroine face shines like the new moon. All of this is her talking about herself.
Yeah.
Like, Mina will never suffer from a lack of confidence.
And the villain completely calls her out on it.
Yeah.
It's like too many stock phrases.
I agree with the villain in this one.
Tone it back.
Take a breath, babe. Take a breath. No. You just need your name, what you're here to do.
You could even just fight him. You actually don't
just
have to say anything. Yeah. Which, of course, she proceeds to do. With
she does.
A katana, nonetheless.
With a katana.
Yeah.
I love that she calls it
seppuku.
Yeah, to fill V-Chan's katana as she sentences you to seppuku.
It's like that's
Mina, that's not what seppuku is.
You do it to yourself.
So our editor wakes up and comes back to the mangaka, and then surprise, surprise, the person drawing the manga is really pretty.
Yeah,
and they're in love with each other.
You know why you couldn't tell? She was wearing glasses.
That happens so often.
I did not realize that trope was common in Japan as it is in America.
All Clark Kent needs is those pair of glasses.
And all ugly girls need is to take their glasses off.
And then suddenly they're pretty.
Glorious, yeah.
That's why I wear contacts.
Yeah, smart.
Sometimes. So, yeah.
They get married.
The artist and the editor get married, which is very cute.
Yes.
Mina takes it pretty well, but again, she
does dress for a funeral. Wears all black to this wedding.
Which she was invited to after being there for like 2 days. So like,
hey, yeah, she's a working employee. You need to show up.
So, and she changes careers like she changes boyfriends, because now she's going to be a shoujo manga artist, just like Usagi wants to be.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she'll make a debut with a Yahweh fan comic about Ace and Tailcoat Mask, which I want to read. Naoki, get on that, please. I need to read this.
Yes.
And then her future editor will be the man of her dreams. And Artemis is like, it could be a woman.
Yeah. Good on you, Artemis. Yeah.
Artemis is an equal opportunity employer. All right. Luna, that name does bring back memories. I wonder how she's doing now. I'm sorry, Mina, they're kind of a secret, but do you mind if I think about our fellow guardians just for tonight?
Very sweet.
Here's the thing. This
I'm
actually
sad.
gets on my nerves.
We have the cat looking out the window all saddy-faced.
It gets on my nerves that, like, and it's something that Luna does too. They don't tell anybody anything, and then shit goes sideways, and they act surprised. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't tell Usagi who Mamoru is when they know. They don't.
A lot of secrets are just kept to make it more interesting, and that's a bad reason to keep secret. Like, in your story, you need a reason why people are keeping secrets for each other. Otherwise, it's just a silly little plot device that doesn't make sense. Like, if you don't want your main character to know this thing that the character's best friend knows, you have to figure out a reason why the best friend isn't telling them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it seems it's just weird. It's just a weird thing.
So, we are on volume 13, Pet Perils Part 3, Choo Choo's Ambition.
That's right. Still about some pets.
And also the repeating names.
Yes.
We've got a theme, and we're sticking to it.
I hope there's no siblings in this one.
So, Mina is over here collecting donations because she got roped into it.
Guilt-tripped into it. And hates it, which is very funny.
Yes.
It's the first time I think I've ever seen a superhero doing charity and being real pissy about it.
Well... And it's really funny because Artemis gives her shit for it, but how many teenagers do you think you could rope into something like this to start with?
0?
Yeah. Like, she's doing something, and even though she's complaining, and she's hot, and she's giving blood, and Yeah, she wants her juice. Also, Artemis just seems to be against her needing anything to survive. I don't she gets a juice.
Artemis doesn't seem to understand about giving blood and how you need to replenish your fluids after that. Like, you need cookies and juice, man. You could pass out otherwise.
Yeah, you do need those things, but Artemis gives her shit for needing juice. So we get a little... This was actually really close to what the original costume for Sailor Mercury is on page... I wish all the pages had numbers.
I know. Transformers has none. Spoiler, we're doing Transformers next week. No page numbers, so you just kind of have to work through it. Yeah.
Page 159, you get like a... What would be like if Haru Kichan were Sailor V.
Yeah.
Which I think is cute, but...
And it's because Artemis is like wishing that he had a better sailor. Or someone more devoted to goodness and rightness.
Which is, I mean, honestly, and then they end up with Usagi, and then they realize maybe teenage girls aren't... They never realize, actually, that maybe teenage girls aren't the target demographic.
No one else has enough heart.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really interesting point, because Madoka Magica is a really good anime.
Yeah.
But it actually does kind of... It analyzes a lot of the magical girl trope kind of things.
Yeah.
And it is that they do pick young girls because of how much power they have, almost.
Yeah.
For the Sailor Scouts, it's more about the fact that they were reborn people. Like, Mina is special because
They're
she
old
was...
souls.
No, well, because she was... she's the same... She's a reincarnation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not about their... They don't actually choose them.
Yeah.
It just happens to be that Mina is the one.
Yeah.
She gives blood. She gets an orange juice.
Thank
Artemis
God.
is an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
And we get a mosquito.
Fucking mosquitoes.
Yes, they're evil.
Yep. There's an easy villain to hate in this one.
Yeah, it really is. She asks Artemis for a new item, and Artemis is like, well, I had one, but you're never getting it now because you're being a human being who needs stuff to survive.
Yeah.
We get interrupted by the command center.
Who we've not heard from in a while.
No, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Nian Nian and Wan Wan do have a third sibling.
Dun 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 dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
It could have just been another
They
character.
don't have to be related.
No, but they are.
So, the command post does the most obvious thing in the world and tells them they have to get rid of the third enemy.
Yeah. Thanks for the report.
Yeah, thank you. Mina volunteering again. Fine. So,
moving into another transformation.
Yeah, we transform into a pharmaceutical company rep, which is Mina taking a walk on the dark side.
Yeah, right. But pharmacy reps, often pretty ladies. That's
pretty
a real
ladies.
Thing. Yeah.
Although this transformation isn't as much fun as the last one.
No, it is not. But still, random word salad behind her. That's a part of the transformation sometimes. Don't know why.
Alright, so Artemis gives her a charm that'll go off whenever there's an enemy around her. And so she decides to walk around this hospital and, I guess...
There's shady shit going on there.
Yeah, she's investigating. She's investigating. But she gets hot, and then she wants to go to the cafeteria and get a juice, and there she sees a doctor.
A hot doctor.
A hot mosquito doctor.
Although the mosquito part not known yet.
No, but Mina propositions an evil mosquito doctor. The girl needs to get laid. I know she's only supposed to be 13, which she doesn't act like it anyways, but this child... Someone needs to be watching her.
Them hormones is out of control.
Artemis is just not having the best of luck with this. So anyways, she decides to give blood again as a pharmaceutical rep.
Yep. For the hot doctor.
Yep. We get Artemis...
Complaints about how many mosquitoes are around right now.
Yeah. Artemis realizes that the doctor is the enemy, so good on you, Artemis.
Yeah, thank you,
But he'd already
Artemis.
taken so much of Mina's blood, and we have the funny eyebrows. I love these eyebrows.
Eye spirals, very common in manga to dictate confusion or out of sortsness.
Yep. So this episode was apparently sponsored by tomato juice, because we get 8 cans of tomato juice, and then Mina's fine to...
It's the Popeye spinach of Sailor V.
To squish our mosquito doctor down.
Yep.
Sailor V has arrived.
Time for the fight.
And then...
The doctor, who I thought was a dude,
Not a dude.
Yeah.
See, Mina complained in the last panel about being hooked up with a girl, but here she is thirsting after Mosquito Doctor, who is at least got boobs. Maybe they're not a girl, but it's not addressed.
No.
It is not addressed at all. We just got random tits on our doctor here.
Yeah, but I'm for more tits on doctors. I've been very public
I'm not
about
against
that.
Tits on doctors. They never state one way or the other what is going on.
No.
So, yeah, Mina defeats our Mosquito Doctor.
Thank God. Of all the villains that were defeated, this is the one I wanted to see defeated most. Even not that their plan was any more hazardous. It just, who doesn't hate mosquitoes?
Also, I mean, I guess stealing blood is actually a problem. Like, you do...
Vampire friendly. Yeah.
So, and then at the end, she is volunteering again.
Roped into volunteering again.
And has a million poor bug bites on her poor legs.
Yeah.
Volume 14, Staking the Springtime of Youth on...
Chimaki Stone.
I'm so glad you're
like
here.
You do
I
it.
can't say these
Oh,
words.
I'm not... I'm pretending I know how to say it. It's a trick.
I felt
like I think I told you this a few podcasts ago. Just say it with confidence. And
also...
people will correct you in the comments either way. Even if you're right. So just
there was a
say it like you believe it.
Red Cross knowledge drop.
Yeah.
Here. See.
A Red Cross knowledge
in
drop.
In the name of Henry Dunant, father of the Red Cross, and the bleeding and blood donors supply service control law, I will punish you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Established in 1956.
Yeah. It was a weird Red Cross knowledge drop. I was not.
Maybe that's like
that.
At the end of cartoons, they used to have public services announcements like "Don't do drugs."
Maybe that's what Mina
or look both ways before crossing the street. Yeah, maybe putting some random facts in here. It's like, look, manga's educational. Don't be against it.
This is probably my favorite one of our color covers.
It's very pretty.
She's
got a golden microphone. Her hair is blowing in a bubble-filled breeze, or possibly lights. I'm not sure if they're bubbles.
I'm not sure what they're supposed to be.
It's very abstract, but very lovely.
It is very. They're giving him a hard time. Yeah. Basically, they're teenagers being teenagers.
Can we?
So we
Please
learn
get
about
an anti-bullying campaign started for extremely good-looking men.
I can't say it.
Again, they're tortured enough. Hachimaki. Like, can pretty handsome men? Can someone help
who just
them?
Handsome young men to be in love
their lives
with.
are pronounced as a new boob.
Who aren't built like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
We just get the pretty boys with the pretty faces.
Yes, I feel so bad for them.
Misunderstood
they're so
quarter Russian
tortured.
classmate named Mayaku Odo-Nurukun.
Yeah, which is certainly a Russian name.
Yeah, sounds very... Well, he's half Russian.
Yeah.
You never know who named him. Maybe it was the Japanese half. It better be with a name like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they say that he's frail. He seems really weak and like a twig, and they're giving him a hard time. Basically, they're teenagers being teenagers.
Can we please get an anti-bullying campaign started for extremely good-looking men? They're tortured enough. Like, can pretty handsome men, can someone help them?
Who just aren't built like...
Their lives are so rough.
Yeah. Who aren't built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can we just get the pretty boys with the pretty faces?
Yes, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, they're so tortured.
Yes.
Anyways, Mina decides that she's going to try to befriend the really hot new... Well, I don't even know if he's new or if it's just like, oh, I've noticed him now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, not sure if this character's always been there or not. But yes, she doesn't like how he's being picked on.
But he calls her a busybody and tells her to go away.
Yes. When pretty people are picked on, Sailor V is there. When Sailor V will actually help pick on ugly people, but if pretty people are picked on...
She seems like she's nice to most people.
Not her nerdy friend. Like, what's his name from Volume 1?
Yeah. I mean, the Umino knockoff.
That dude gets picked on all the time, and she's right there with him.
Yeah.
But he's not pretty, so...
Well, but she's nice to the one dude.
She's a little shallow.
I think we can... Look, I'm not going to argue against that. She falls in love at first sight. She's very shallow.
Yes.
But she also does seem to have at least a notion of the sense of justice. Like, she'll fight for
anyone whose life's at risk.
Yeah.
That's right. Even you uggos will be okay. Sailor V will rescue you. But I also, it's very funny that he's like, get away from me, busybody.
Yeah, go away. I don't want to be a part of whatever scheme you're involved in right now. Just leave me alone. But she wants to get to know him. She has made up her mind that he is worth getting to know. So she finds him reading about sports after she bumps into him.
And she's like, I do sport too.
Yeah.
We have something in common. Which, honestly, this is the deepest she's gotten into someone.
Yeah, this is...
She actually found out something about him that she has in common with him, which is just... She's maturing. Our little girl's growing up.
So she finds out that he pushed himself too hard and he passes out because he was trying to run at a thing.
Yeah, she discovers he's not
got a
healthy.
weak heart.
Yeah,
he actually does have a health problem, supposedly.
Don't let it start. I got a weak heart and I don't get around how you get around.
So she's worried that he's gonna hate her. It says busybodies are the least popular women in the office.
Oh, yes.
So she goes to
a karaoke.
Which I thought was really neat.
Yeah, and once again, her luck is amazing because...
Well, I actually think she was looking for him.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it make a little more sense. I thought she just ended up here, and it just so happens that he lives upstairs.
Yeah. He does. I do think she was looking for him, and it just so happens that there's a karaoke place.
I love a good karaoke.
Underneath
I haven't
his
done it
house.
since the pandemic, and I miss it.
She pops up to his place, which is cool that they just let her in. Like, I don't know if they knew that they know him or anything.
Yeah.
He lives above the karaoke place, and he really likes listening to people sing, which is actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
He can't run in the marathon because he's going to have an operation.
Because he's got a weak heart, and I don't get around how you get around. Every time... I'm sorry, I'm karaokeing. Anyway.
I've never karaoke, so you can have all of that.
We should, it's super fun.
I would rather die than have people hear
No,
me.
you just gotta drink first.
Oh, maybe that's the trick.
A little liquid courage, and you'll be up there belting your heart out, feeling good about it. You'll think you're really talented. And everyone who's also drunk at the bar will also think you're really talented.
After 2 drinks, he's a loser. After 3 drinks, he's a star. That's me. Okay.
Yeah. That's all of us, let's be honest.
We meet... with the title of our thing, and we find a Hachimaki stone.
Hachimaki.
It's a Russian tradition, although it sounds very Japanese.
Yeah.
It's a good luck charm, and he gives it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she promises to win the race for him, and then next year they'll race each other. Although he's never actually participated in a school event, but he likes that she talks to her.
Because of that weak heart.
Yeah. Apparently persistence does pay off, and if someone tells you to leave them alone, you should keep bugging them.
Yeah.
Because this will end well for you.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if you're a pretty girl.
Yeah. The key is to be a person that person actually likes.
Yeah. So she decides to go karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
And she sings, and she sings.
And she sings.
She has a great time singing.
Yeah, she has a very good time.
You know, actually, as a side tangent, just real quick, I find admittedly, I have not read Sailor V yet, but even in the anime, there was a lot of talk about her wanting to be an idol.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the knowledge that I have from that book you lent me about how important karaoke is in Japanese culture. To have an actual real life background.
The novel being pure invention. Check it out, kids.
Yes, it's very good. Mm-hmm. But I think it lends to reading.
Yeah.
This because there is actually you can understand why that's in the story.
Weirdly enough, I was actually going to mention the pure invention book for our next podcast because again, Soundwave. Spoiler: Transformers turns into a Walkman. Another very important Japanese invention. So
Mina sings, and we get our bad guy, who is
a karaoke star.
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah, who gets powered by having people sing at this into this special microphone.
So our boy is getting stronger. He's been feeling better. Mina keeps bringing him stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's thinking maybe he can postpone his operation and run after all, because this is smart choices.
Do not recommend.
No, we're not.
This podcast does not support putting off operations for Sports Day. Yeah. Even as important as Sports Day is in school culture in Japan, get your operation done.
Yeah. There's a hierarchy of needs, and doing things with your friends is important. It is. It is a very having healthy life balance is not a bad thing.
But you can't have a life balance without being
dead.
alive. Yeah, you gotta stay alive for that life balance.
Yeah, being dead will impact the life balance, so go get your freaking operation, my man.
These are facts.
So, we have a neat karaoke skull thingy, which doesn't look ominous at all.
No?
So we're fine.
I was not frightened by it.
Well, so I went and watched Annabelle with my best friend, and the movie starts, and that doll looks evil before the demon ever possesses it.
Yep.
And I feel like the same logic applies to the skull microphone. It looks bad. Don't touch it. Why would you touch it? Oh my god.
It's for singing heavy metal.
That's not what he's singing, though.
No, it's not. That's why it attacked him.
Maybe if you sing the right kind of music,
if you'd sing Welcome to the Jungle, you would have been fine.
He passes out, and Mina decides to look for stones to try to bring him good luck.
Got to get the stones to help him.
She wants to help him. So he was born with this bad heart, and he can't heal, and he's going to give up, and he gets all morose and very emo about it.
I will say this, though. This was the... out of all of the stories from both volumes, this was my favorite, because it was the first one where it felt like there were quote-unquote real stakes. Yeah. Like, where you had a character who was really suffering, and, like, a romance that was actually based on something, and, like...
It is the first time where there's actually some depth, as opposed to Mina falling in love with someone's face being over it.
Yeah. So, I really enjoyed this arc.
It is actually, and it shows Mina, like, she does actually care. Like, even though it's just little stones that she picks up, she's trying to do something for him.
Yeah.
So, but he decides that he's given up and he can't live, and Mina gets all mad because she doesn't like the expression, I give up.
Yeah.
Even though I think she's used it more than once.
No, she says I quit. It's totally different.
Yeah. I suppose so.
No, it is not.
So she collects some people to go sing karaoke.
Because she knows he's upstairs and receives
she wants to make
power
him feel better.
From everyone singing. Yeah.
And they end up all passing out.
Unbeknownst, superpowering the
evil
boss.
Mike.
Yeah, giving power to your boss. Yeah.
We meet our microphone bad guy again.
Yep.
Did we get a name for them? I'm
sure we do, but I don't think it's important.
So
she won't be here long.
No. So she transforms.
Yep.
And
into an Inkai Singa.
I don't know what that is.
They sing a older type of Japanese music. That's why she's wearing the traditional kimono for it. They actually used to travel bar to bar, sort of a sing for your supper type deal. They would come in and perform in different venues. I think they're briefly mentioned in Pure Invention when they were talking about the birth of the karaoke machine.
I do remember that.
But yeah, so she turns into an old-timey singer, in that outfit.
Yeah,
and sings a parody of an old-timey song. Now that I only know because there's a note about it at the back of the book. I cheated on that one.
So, and then she transforms into Sailor V. She decides that with this, she's also going to show Ono Nuru-kun how wonderful it is to live. So this is a dual-purpose battle.
Yeah. She's going to beat the bad guy's ass and also do a very inspirational song for her friend with the heart troubles.
Yep.
Who she wants to bang!
Yeah.
Romance.
Yeah. And for that, she is rewarded with the Venus microphone.
Yeah, which I bet was an accessory sold to young children everywhere.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand...
Probably had buttons you pressed that made sounds.
Well, they could have... So there's a live-action musical for Sailor Moon, which I think I mentioned.
There is. Yes, yeah.
And I feel like if they did have a microphone, they could just have a Sailor V-inspired microphone. They really could just load it up with, like, the songs from, like, the musical and the live-action version.
Yeah.
There are options. They could put Power of Love on it and call it a day.
Don't need money. Don't need fame. Don't need a credit card to ride this train. Karaoke!
Oh, Lord. So she uses her microphone and beats the bad guy and then wins the marathon because, of course, she did.
She's winning up in here.
Yep. And she brings the finish line tape as proof of their love to Ono Nuru-kun, who introduces
his
Mina
Russian girlfriend.
to his Russian girlfriend.
Dun, dun,
Who filled him with hope for life. So, nice try, Mina.
Yeah, that is very hurtful. Like,
I love Artemis here, though. Why don't you just find your 2,982nd first love?
Yeah, move on.
You'll be fine, sweetheart. Yeah. You got this.
The only volume that we go into volume 15, and it's the only one with Sailor V not as the main focal point.
Yep, this one she's finally sharing.
Yeah, she's in the crack of the book, and we got our Ace Ventura Pet Detective being picking up the main panel. Here. Yeah, looking good, Ace.
All right, so we're back to Ace, who fell out for four volumes. We've just forgotten he existed, but now he's back. He's
not a pet person, again. This guy. He had to leave for all the pet stuff. Honestly, and she couldn't fall in love with the Russian guy if he was hanging around.
Fair point. Yeah. She, Mina may not be loyal, but she does only have one love at a time.
She's a bit monogamous in that respect.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's very whoever's standing in front of her.
Oh yeah, definitely. She has the attention.
I don't know if that counts as one lover at a time. If she moves her eye vision 180 degrees,
permanence.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts. If that's the case, 99% of the time I've only had one lover at a time. Like, unless you're actively having a threesome, you only have one lover at a time.
Yeah.
That's monogamy. That's a monogamy I can get behind. It makes perfect sense.
You and Mina would be fast friends. Anyways.
I know. I wish we were.
No, you're fast friends with Sabia.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, Mina goes to the arcade. She has to meet up at the command center.
Yep.
Which she just falls down in the middle of the day when not Andrew. He's Andrew in the original anime. His name is a lot like Sailor Troubadour's.
Yeah. I will say this real quick. There is on page... Go back one. On page 220, there is a claw machines. And claw machines in Japan are really big business. They actually... Almost all of them have exclusive things in them that you can only get from those claw machines.
Oh, really?
So there are a lot of Japanese people who train to be really good at those claw machines, because if you want all the Pokemon plushies, you've got to get good at the claw machines, because 6 of them are only available in these claw machines. And so the claw machines are a big business, to the point that there are actually apps that you can get on your phone that let you control and play a Japanese claw machine and win prizes that will then be shipped to you here in the U.S. So it is a way to get limited edition. I actually have a Alucard who is from Symphony of the Night, a Japanese video game where the term Metroidvania comes from. And I have a statue of him that is a claw machine exclusive that a friend of mine who was just a fucking master of claw machines got for me. He also got me a set of limited edition Black Butler lighters, which I was not able to bring back because Customs took them all.
That
super made me sad because they were so pretty. But yeah, claw machines.
There's an episode of the Sailor Moon anime that has one of the Rainbow Crystal carriers who is just a claw machine dude. No. Like, that is... I didn't know that, which is an interesting bit
This is why. Yeah, the claw machines. Big business in Japan.
So she messes up the claw machine so she can go back down to the secret base in the middle of the day to find out that they have a case. They are tracking Ace Vex Trax Pro, which is the company that Ace, our Ace Ventura guy, works for. So Mina is going undercover. She needs to infiltrate the movie audition for the movie that's getting ready to come out with Ace, and they're going to have to fly to China. And
road trip. Well, plane trip, but you know what I mean.
She gets to...
We're changing menus.
This is a mission Mina can actually get behind.
Yeah.
So she's
trying to get cast as the love interest to the guy she's actually in love with. So, yeah, she's totally on board
here for this one. This one is a very...
Artemis does not have to motivate.
Yeah, this one is... Oh, I have to try to get close to the hot guy I want to get close to anyways.
Yes.
So...
And the police superintendent is going to hitch a ride, trying to hitch a ride as well.
Yep. So, the superintendent, she knows, saw her transform.
Yeah.
So she decides to, I guess, sort of join the police force.
Well, yeah, well, she's also really into Ace, right? So she's...
yeah,
superintendent has to go and see Ace.
And she gets to use her magic to cheat to win this competition.
Yeah. By turning into her in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
A rising junior idol is what she changes form into. And I'm like, how is that any different from just your form?
This one actually irritated me a little bit, because if she could cheat to win...
Yeah.
Why didn't she just change herself into Ace's ideal for whoever should be in this role?
I guess she would have to know what that was. She had to go generic, because... Unless he straight up had a press release, like, I'm looking for a girl with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I feel like they do, though, don't they? Like, don't a lot of these idols have those kind of interviews where they talk about, like, their likes and dislikes and, like, what they...
That's true. I suppose if she watched one of his interviews and he was like, yeah, I need someone who can do this, this, and this, she could have... Of course, maybe she did. I don't know. All we know about her is that she's wearing a bathing suit. Like,
yeah. So he gives her a flower...
Yeah, it's basically an episode of The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Where whoever you hand a flower to gets to stay.
She makes it through the round. We have an Amy spotting.
Yeah.
On this page.
Yeah.
Page 233. So we see Amy in the background.
Go Amy.
She'll show up shortly. This meeting with Amy actually sparks a little bit in Mina, because she, even though they don't talk, she has a moment of, like, knowing that she's not alone. Which is nice.
Yeah.
I feel like being a Sailor Scout is kind of isolating.
Yeah.
So we have our grumpy detective back.
Yep.
Who is helping with the superintendent. And Mina decides that she's destined to be with someone, and she thinks it's Ace. So we're in Japan. Or China, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Left Japan.
We've left Japan. And it's a good thing that Customs doesn't check our bags very carefully.
No, why would we?
Because Artemis is hanging out inside of our luggage.
Yeah. We
see our weird bad guy.
Yeah, real into food.
Yep, it's a foodie.
We have another foodie.
And Mina is filming a...
it's set in the 30th century.
There you go.
Yeah.
It seems, let's see, we got...
Which is, actually, that's in the way future, right? Like, because we're in the 21st century right now, right?
Actually, yeah, I guess it is.
Oh, yeah.
This is the... Princess Run
of the
Lunlun Kingdom. I swear to God.
Run of Lunlun.
Yeah, we're just doubling up.
Yeah.
She has no interest in her suitors, and so she falls in love with the wanted fugitive Phantom Ace.
Yeah.
Because we're not even trying to hide our identities over here.
Why would we? I mean, it seems like a waste of time.
And the Phantom Ace is here to steal the Jade Jewel, the symbol of the royal family.
Yeah, of course. A good thief is a good thief.
Actually, instead, it's called the Drop of Venus. This is actually what he's here to steal. It's a droplet that fell from your body and transformed into a jewel when you were born from the sea foam on your mother planet. Don't you remember it, Princess Venus? So, Phantom Ace is over here dropping lore.
Yeah. But within the
film.
The
movie. Yeah. So, it's double...
Whoever wrote this movie, very lazy, was like, Phantom Ace, what do you think this movie should be about? He's just straight up, like, giving Sailor Venus's origin and being like, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the writer just writes it down. Exactly.
Do you like it? I came up with the idea that the Chinese princess was actually a princess of the Earth's twin planet, Venus. I think it could really work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ace is over here just dropping that he knows everything.
Yeah.
Because he does. He's
seemingly more than Sailor Venus knows about Sailor Venus.
Well, more than she has been told.
Yeah.
Because Artemis is over here keeping secrets like a dumb motherfucker.
Yeah. Seemingly for no reason again.
Again, just for plot. Mm-hmm. Just for plot. Yeah. See what happens when you keep secrets, Artemis, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, so, secrets are no fun.
Ace,
secrets hurt someone.
Yeah. Ace is gonna he knows. So Mina knows that Ace knows about her now.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to tell him about all of her true identities, because she just wants someone to confide in. Again, being a Sailor Scout is probably incredibly lonely.
Yeah, until you get your group together.
She doesn't know she has a group yet.
That's what I mean. Until the group gets together, and you think
She thinks Ace is on her side. Ace has been a hero so far, as far as she's aware.
He has diet candy.
Yeah. Helped her save the world.
Goddamn hero.
He buys her a ring.
Jesus. Things get serious.
Yeah. We escalate quickly here.
Straight up says, I love you.
Yep. And he wants to tell her fortune with his cards. Because apparently we just substitute tarot decks for playing cards.
Yeah, which you can't do. There's rules for it. I don't know them, but
it's lazy. I prefer my tarot cards.
They're much prettier and more fun to collect.
But he asks if she loves him, and she says I do, and he calls her a liar because this is how you convince all pretty girls that they love you. You never put your heart into anything. You've always chosen something else over love.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it though. He ain't wrong. It's like, do you love me? Like, you've known me for almost 20 minutes now. Like, they've only actually been together for 20 minutes.
It's not been a long time, yeah.
So
he was gone for 4 volumes.
The only real lie there is when he says, I love you, because that's also not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, him saying she doesn't love him, yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Dropping knowledge.
And then she gets upset because it says that she's always put her heart into everything. And she puts love above everything, and she wouldn't choose anything over him. And she's like, except for maybe my work as Sailor V, but, I haven't really had the chance to get a boyfriend, and, like, the Guardian of Justice stuff isn't my choice. I have to do it because Artemis says so, and, like, I like being Sailor V. She likes it now. She risks her life for it, but she's never tried that hard. Like, she is very...
he's making her second guess or something.
Yeah. But this time I mean it. My heart's in it. I love you enough to risk my life for you, Ace. Even though I just met you. And then she's like, I love you, don't I?
Yeah, I wrote that as well. It's like, I do love you, don't I? Which is that's a warning sign, I think.
Yeah, it is.
When you're already questioning it while you're still in the honeymoon phase, like,
here's
that's
the thing.
Troublesome. Yeah.
She doesn't love him. She just met him. Like, that is... she's not sure of it.
It's also kind of funny that the first dude who is, like, very receptive to that love immediately makes her question if she really loves him.
He's gaslighting the fuck out of her.
Yeah, and she's 13, so...
He asks if she hasn't awoken yet, which she hasn't.
Yeah.
And then the next day she wakes up and someone...
So he flicks her in the forehead, too.
Yeah, he does. He's a jerk.
Important thing to mention, yeah.
And then someone in the shadows is saying, help me, Venus, but she doesn't see who. Which I think is really neat because in the anime they also... Mamoru sees the same shadowy figure asking him to collect this Imperium Silver Crystal and help save her. So... She wakes up in her bed. I don't know how she got there. It's never established. So I'm just going to blame Ace for being a creep again.
Carried her home.
So
that's gentlemanly, as long as he just carried her home. As long as it's
You're putting a lot of faith in Ace.
Oh, I don't know he did. I'm not defending. I'm just saying, like, we don't know what happened. We don't know why she woke up in bed.
That's the problem.
Disturbing. Yeah.
So Mina goes filming, but someone has put little... tacks in her shoes.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, someone's being really mean, but she transforms into Sailor V, or she transforms into the Piratess of China. Actually, really cool.
Very cool costume.
And this is actually a person.
Yeah.
Like the Pirate of China is actually really, like, her background is really neat. So she transforms into a pirate and runs after to find Ace so that... Because I think she's finally realized that something ain't right here.
Better late than never, yeah?
And Ace knows who she is automatically.
Yep.
Because he loves her. He knows everything about her. He's not making himself sound like less of a creep.
No.
He wants to protect her.
And they rub noses.
And
they do a nose rub.
They do a nose rub.
They do an Eskimo kiss. They've already done a real kiss. Now they're doing Eskimo kisses.
I will always protect you because I'm Sailor. And then she realizes that she's made that promise before. This love isn't what she wants. She realizes very quickly. And she realizes that he's not the one that she wants to protect.
He's a little offended about it.
He is a little offended about it. So Danbarite, Soma, this is Danbarite, and this is the bad guy that we've been leading to the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's the one that doesn't like that he's pushing away. So Sailor V's pushing away Ace, and Danbarite's the one, this lady who's kind of the background.
I think she's talking to Ace, though. I think Ace is Danbarite.
How dare you? You came on to him first.
Yeah.
And now you push him away. So she's talking to Sailor V.
She is, but... Danbarite is him. He is Danbarite. He's got multiple identities.
Okay, gotcha. Ace is Amberite. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she is Sailor V. She transforms into Sailor V. I actually really like that they do like Sailor Venus has arrived, and I'm assuming this is Chinese down here.
Probably Chinese kanji. It's sort of hard because Japanese kanji takes a lot from Chinese. In fact, the whole Japanese language takes a lot from Mandarin. So, couldn't say for sure, but yeah.
Mina
Very
is
likely.
this weird amalgamation of a flighty teenage girl who gets her idioms wrong and can't, she recites cliches and then turns around and, drops facts, you dare to try to take over China, the monster of Asia, with a total area of 28 million kilometers and a population of 1.3 billion people. On New Democracy, 1940, Mao Zedong, and the People's Liberation Army may allow it, but I will not. What the fuck you doing, Sailor?
And it's always a weird fact just dropped so that she can compare herself favorably to someone in history. Victor Hugo would have let this happen, but I sure won't.
Yeah. She's just...
it's just a weird part of her character.
I love the dichotomy of who she is, because she will, she can't get her idioms right. She's all the time confusing cliches, but we just know this about China. Yeah. We have our fight. Danbarite Soma. She realizes Danbarite Soma is what Ace is actually called.
Right. But she was fighting, I guess you'd call it Danbarite's handler.
Yeah.
The weird food lady.
Yeah.
Who showed up a little earlier. Yeah.
So we got Artemis in a cage, and that is where that chapter ends, and we've got
the final countdown.
We've got Volume 16, A New Journey, Part 2. Which, again, beautiful cover art.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so pretty. Sailor V is in the middle of a fight, trying to save Artemis, his little butt in a cage. And our bad guy is a Lin Reman?
Yeah. Reman.
That's a hell of a name.
Lin Ran Reman.
So she wants to roast the cat and Sailor V together.
We'll just call her Lin from here out.
And Sailor V has a flashback. Or flash forward, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Anyway, she sees Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter on this page, which is really cute. They're just these nice little shadow backgrounds. Yeah. We have Ace rescuing her again. Yeah. Which is weird because he's not a good guy, but he's gonna do it anyway. But which actually makes me think there's a part in the Sailor Moon anime where Mamoru gets brainwashed. And even brainwashed Mamoru won't let anyone else hurt Usagi. So I don't know if maybe there's a little bit of love that manages to make it through the brainwashing.
Yeah, seems like.
But anyways, we got a crumbling palace, which brings back more memories. So what's happening here is...
Yeah, I was confused by this. Explain.
Mina, all of this is a setup reminiscing on the time that the Moon Kingdom fell. When all of the characters died the first time.
Gotcha.
So what happens is all of this, she remembers this because this is set up to look like the fall of the Silver Millennium, not the Silver Millennium? So she can't let it happen again. Mina is the first one to wake up. And every incarnation of Sailor Moon, when Ace asks her if she's awakened yet, Mina is the first one who gets the full brunt of all of the memories of the past. Every single time. So she understands what has happened from Princess Serenity all the way to what is happening now. So we get, this is, I'm talking about favorite panels. This is probably mine. You get Princess Serenity, you get Luna, Jupiter, Mina, got Mars, and Mercury here. And this is pre the fight and the downfall of
the Moon Kingdom.
Okay. So Mina knows about Queen Beryl and Prince Endymion, and she knows who she is now. This is her waking up to her charge as a Sailor Scout.
And now, was Ace setting this up on purpose? Like the whole setting up the whole movie to look just like the Moon Kingdom? Okay.
Yeah,
he wants her awake.
He wants her awake. Because he wants her to understand who he is. Because he's very mad. He took all of this very personally. So this awakens all of her. She's the guardian of the protection of the golden planet. She is Sailor Venus. Right. This is her transforming from Sailor V to Sailor Venus. Yeah. And she was important.
I finally know what the V stands for.
Yeah. She was born to protect one very important person. I am her guardian.
Yeah.
And that
her
person
being Sailor Moon
is Usagi Tsukino.
Yeah.
So Ace asks if she's ready to film the climax of the movie. Our princess has learned that she was abandoned as a child and has lost all of her memories. In this scene, she's taken back to her homeland. You'll start with your line, princess. This is my true kingdom. No, the kingdom you loved and the people you loved, they're gone. They were destroyed by the enemy's forces. So she decides she's done playing and she wants to know who Ace is. And Ace is Adonis, who is her lost lover.
The Dark Adonis.
Well, he was someone who, I guess, in another... He was in love with her. Mm-hmm. But, and he was from her planet.
Okay.
But she is a princess. So he wasn't in her class.
Right.
And then we were drafted into a war on our primary planet, and he was assigned to work underneath the prince, which is Endymion, which is Usagi's forever love.
Gotcha.
And he found her magnificent, but she was already in love with Kunzite.
Oh no.
So Ace is in love with her, but she is in love with one of Endymion's 4 heavenly princes. So that it occurred to me then, if one of the cogs of fate had been placed differently, we might have fallen in love.
Right. If I had been of a equal class to you.
Yeah.
If you could see me as more than a soldier, but because I was such a low class dude.
Yep. He can't be with her, so he decides that he's going to make this everyone's problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This all seems fair to me. Fuck the class differentials, you know. Hey, look, class struggles. I feel you, man. Yeah.
I feel class struggles too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when a girl doesn't love you, you don't get to destroy the world for it.
You do if she doesn't love you just because you're a lowly serf. That's
she
when
was
it's
already
okay.
in love with someone else, dude.
Yeah, it's just coincidentally a heavenly prince. Just a coincidence.
Well, Dan Beret ain't doing any better. I answer only to the 4 heavenly kings of the Dark Kingdom, and soon will overtake the entire planet.
See, he's like, I'm becoming a prince too. I'm a dark prince.
And Sailor Venus is his enemy.
Yeah.
He did all of this stuff to waken her up to, I don't even understand, I guess.
He wants it to be a fair fight. Well, it's like... he can't kill her without her knowing why he's killing her. So he has to give her memories back. So he can be like, just so you know, me killing you, totally justified. He had to give her memory. Like, I get. It's like, you got to give her memories back before you kill her.
That way she knows why you're killing her.
Yeah. It's important to villains who twirl mustaches.
Alright, so Ace took it personally. Yep. He decides that he's going to tell her fortune because he's about to die because she keeps ending up killing all the people she falls in love with. So why would Ace be any different?
I know, yeah. I kind of was hoping this fight would be longer and better, but once again, Sailor Venus abides no fucks.
Let me tell you your love fortune one last time. Your dreams for love will never come true. Love or your mission is the hardest choice to make, and it's been made for you. So he basically tells Mina that she'll never have true love because she'll always choose her mission.
I mean, I would say that too if you just killed me. I'd
be
like,
basically killed himself.
If I tried to fight you, Cecilia, and you beat me in combat, and I'm bleeding to death, I'd be like, you'll never find true love, and I don't like your haircut. Like, I would just say mean, vindictive shit right before I died.
Well, I think the notion is supposed to be, though, that because Adonis is like Venus and also from the planet of love, he is possibly cursing her here.
Yeah.
Because,
I gotcha.
Yeah. Because,
so he's not really telling her future as altering it with his evil curse power.
Sort of.
Of his evil tarot cards.
Sort of. It's more like he's also just kind of telling her the truth because she is a Sailor Guardian and her job will always come before her own wants and desires.
Right.
So she decides she realizes she has to go find her fellow Guardians to be Sailor Scouts with.
Yep.
And she goes back to Japan, and we have a Sailor Jupiter spotting.
Nice. Which
was I love it. I live for the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So, and then she decides to make a phone call to the superintendent, and she's going to work part-time with the police until she finds
the rest of her.
The rest of the Sailor Scouts.
And thus ends our Tales of Sailor V.
Yes.
If you want more of that, you got to pick up her adventures in the Sailor Moon comics.
Yep.
But yes, this was nice. I enjoyed it very much. It was wild ride, and got real serious there at the end.
Yeah, well, the Sailor Moon it gets pretty serious. Yeah. Sailor V was lighthearted in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the big question?
Give me the big question. I'm ready. I'm tough.
All right. So we see in this series over the 2 volumes, how Sailor V reacts to the charge of having to care for all of the life on Earth and in the cosmos as the series progresses. Yep. Now, you see how she reacts to it, and both negative and positive. Yep. How do you think you would have reacted to this if you had been given the option as a child versus how you would react
as a 13-year-old
versus how you would react now?
As a 42-year-old. Yeah. Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, I told you I was proud of this question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Man, as a 13-year-old, I'm sure I would very much embrace the superhero aspect of it, because by 13 I was already well into fucking Spider-Man and Batman. And, I was well into superheroes. So if someone showed up and was like, yeah, you're going to be a superhero, I would be totally into it. But I also would very much be slack on the training part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was slack on school and stuff, and which is supposedly training you for the real world. So I imagine I would be slack on training for this state of the world thing. And when you hit your teenage years, you also feel like you're immortal. So I would be much more likely to throw myself into world-saving situations.
Yeah.
Now at 42, I would be much more skeptical. I would doubt everything that this. Let's assume it's a cat again. I would doubt everything this cat told me.
The fact that the cat could talk.
The fact that the cat would talk would be unbelievable to me. I would question it constantly. I would not be willing to put myself in as much danger. The cat would be like, "We have to infiltrate this factory." I'd be like, "Factories have guards with guns." And I have slacked on my training. That part would stay the same. I would still slack on my training. I'm like, I've slacked on my training. I can't go into this heavily guarded factory. Even if I change into the form of a HIPAA inspector, I'm not sure, an OSHA inspector, I'm not sure I would be able to fake it till I made it into this factory. Let's not do this. The villain will eventually come out of that factory. Why don't we just wait till he comes outside? Catch him alone in an alley. Hit him from behind.
Oh, God.
With a bat. Yeah, I would be a much more sneaky asshole, person. I would never change in front of the villain. I would never give a speech. It would always be backstab. 13-year-old me would be like, yeah, villain, time to face justice at the hands of the Sandman. I'd be like that little kid of the Sandman. Old me would be much more hit them in the back. If they don't ever see you, you win by default.
From the Sandman to the Shadow.
Yeah. Who knows what evil lurks inside of man? The Shadow knows. Yeah, so what about you? How would your 13-year-old versus not 42-year-old self handle the situation differently?
I think 13-year-old... I think both versions of me, I would want to do it. I would probably take on all of the responsibility. Well, because I'd feel bad if I didn't. It's definitely that Spider-Man...
I would have to be guilted into it, yeah.
I'd guilt myself. It's definitely that Spider-Man thing, though, of if you have the power to do something and you don't, aren't you responsible for it? Yeah. And I definitely feel like that, but I am also very easily guilted into things. And, it would be... I would do it at both ages.
Yeah.
And I would put myself into it fully at both ages. But I feel like I would be much more tired of people. I'm already tired of people now. Mm-hmm. And younger me was much more naive about the goodness that could be achieved in the world. Older me is well, fuck, if I don't do something, I'd feel bad about it.
I'm as bad as all those other people with great power who don't do anything.
Or who do bad things.
Or who do have bad things,
yeah. So, I would still do it, but the motivations would be drastically different. Younger me would be much more in, magical girl, we can save the world because people are ultimately good and, you could do good things because, yeah. Older me is well, fuck, I gotta do something.
I
If I have the power.
I also think older me would justify getting paid more. Because then I'd be like, look, I can throw myself into this sailor thing a lot better if I know the rent's paid.
Yeah.
Like, I can... if I know I've got enough food...
So between the 5 of you, like,
yeah, I know... just... Let me rob one bank. They're insured. No one actually loses out here. Just let me use my superhero powers to rob one bank.
Forget robbing a bank. Let me use my superhero powers to rob Jeff Bezos, who is evil.
His money's in a bank. I'll rob his bank.
Yeah, I'll just take his money in particular.
Road trip to Switzerland. We'll rob all their Swiss bank accounts. And bring that money.
If you've got money in the Deutschland Bank, you might want to watch out. Other than that,
I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and give that money to the poor. I'm like, I'll give most of it to the poor.
Yeah. We'll buy. You know what we'll do to cover our asses?
Mm-hmm.
We'll buy like one of those, like the companies that you were talking about earlier that were buying up all the apartments.
Yeah.
We'll buy those out from them.
Yes.
And then just give them to people.
Yeah.
Like that.
We
and
will
then
keep one for us.
Yeah. Some of the people we give them to, maybe ourselves.
One of them. I'm not going to have multiple homes. I'm not that.
No.
I'm not that bougie.
I'm saying if you have a whole team.
But I am going to pay for one house.
Yeah, If you have a whole team.
If we have a team of sailors people.
Yeah, you buy one.
That would be fun too, is if you got to, I mean, you don't get to pick your team.
No, you
but
don't.
It would be super fun if you did. Like in this version, the cat's like, I need you to choose a team of people. Man, that's...
I should have asked that. Who would be on your
that's a
sailor
good
team?
second big question. Like, you would be on my team? I'd put you on my team.
Yay, I get to be a Sailor Scout.
Yeah, I'd put
I've
you...
always wanted to be a Sailor Scout.
Yeah, you'd have... Yeah, especially if it was literally a Sailor Scout situation. I'd be like, well, Cecilia's got to be one. Cecilia can be my Sailor Mercury. You'd be the smart one and tell me what Sailor Scouts are supposed to do. Because I have no idea.
If you didn't... Here's the thing. If you didn't make me a Sailor Scout and I ever figured out you were one, I would be the villain. I would have to get even.
I might do it just so you have an origin story. Like, I need a good villain. Like my former podcast co-host, now ultimate villain of the Sailor Scouts. Oh, how the worm has turned. You would be Ace. You would be this burned lover who thought they were going to get to be a Sailor Scout and then wasn't. And then took it personally and came at us. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I would be Ace in this. Well, only if you didn't, though.
But I would.
Okay.
I'd absolutely.
I feel like
I would have
enough.
to. Yeah.
I've been enough in the magical girl universe.
Well, you also seem like don't let it swell your head or anything, but you seem like a morally good person, and I would need that. I was born without a moral compass, or my
I've got an
parents beat it out of me, but I don't have a moral compass, so I need someone to
I've got an overdeveloped
be
one,
that
so I can
for
help you
me.
out. Yeah.
Yes. Keep me centered. Keep me from using my powers for evil. All right. Sailor V, that was super fun. We now...
And very long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a two-parter. But next week, we're going to an 80s toy franchise made cartoon. Like, it was everything. Transformers. This is Generation 1.
In disguise.
Thank you. Yeah, Generation 1. So we're talking Megatron and Optimus Prime, who is a truck. And all that good stuff. We're going to read Volume 1 of the DreamWorks Transformers from the early 2000s. I have a link to it in the show notes, so you can find it and follow along. But until then, yeah, this has been Comic Dissection. Thank you so much for listening. Till next time, yeah, bye-bye. Peace! Also, follow us on all the things.
We will eventually have things.
We'll have all the things. The Twitches and the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace out, losers.